All right, welcome back, race fans. Wendigo Studios coverage of the Lodgebox series. We've taken the dirt off of Bristol. I got Jake and Hunter with me. Hunter, you back, buddy?
I've returned. Yes. Who knew you had to write an essay to change the
To change the ink
paint in a printer? Yeah, changing it. It was a complicated process, Harold, but we
Technical
got it
problems
done.
of Hunter's Levy.
Seems like there's an issue every week since we've been going with season 2.
Well,
It doesn't matter who it is. Sometimes it's everyone.
Yeah, no, but hey, we made it back here. We've had all the plows and whatnot take all that dirt off the track and replaced it with the concrete.
Yep, all the virtual plows have gotten the dirt off of Bristol. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for intensity on wheels? Well, welcome to Bristol Mirror Speedway, back to the concrete jungle that it is. Bristol's 30-degree banked concrete corners have provided some of the sport's most exciting fender bending racing, including the infamous, just wanted to rattle his cage a little bit, from good old Dale Sr. With over 100,000 permanent seats and a half-mile layout, this track guarantees that the crowd will be loud and hungry for the action. Besides, it's Bristol, baby. And we're live for the Lodgebox series, as Harold mentioned, for race number 3 of season 2. Harold, Jake, and myself, Hunter Slappy, in the booth. How's it going, everyone?
It's going good, man. We had the track team, like you guys mentioned, working overtime, taking all the dirt off of this racetrack from Monday and Tuesday night's race and all the fun that was out there on the Bristol dirt track. And now we're back here on the concrete and looking to make a little bit of history, Hunter. We had our first ever dirt race earlier in this week, and now we get our first ever race at Bristol Motor Speedway in this league's history.
Yeah, I honestly forgot that we didn't do a Bristol race last year. It kind of shocked me when I was looking over for the track records and saw that there was nothing from Bristol. I'm like, oh, wow, this is our first time. I had no clue, so this is going to be something new. Although Bristol is a fun track that plenty of these racers have done before in previous iRacing events, but never before in the area, neither on dirt or concrete. So this will be something new for all of us.
Yeah, definitely is going to be a new challenge for these guys. I think it's also the shortest track we've ever went to. I don't think we've went to anything shorter than Bristol, and there's not many places that are shorter than Bristol, so it's going to be definitely a unique challenge, unique circumstance for these guys. But hey, if anything, we can base anything off of last week's races at Phoenix. These guys in this series know how to get it done the best. They only had 3 yellow flags on Thursday night, the least at all of the Phoenix races last week. So maybe we'll see what they can do here tonight at Bristol.
So we're actually hitting real short track racing. And Jake, like you said, I guess the only other track that signifies this kind of short track racing would be the paperclip.
Yeah, we'll be there for race number 3 of our playoffs as well. We'll be at Martinsville. So this is maybe the only preview we're going to get at some real short track racing, Hunter.
And with short track racing comes those short track tempers that we typically see in real life NASCAR. We saw that last week with the trucks and the Xfinity guys, but not with the Cup guys. Cup guys, they were just kind of bummed about the whole shifting thing, which, I mean, I was kind of bummed too. But nonetheless, there's still some pretty short temper drivers out here. Could we see that happen tonight, Jake?
I think so. I think, we saw some tempers flaring after Tuesday night's Truck Series race between some drivers, and that kind of is something you expect when you come to shorter tracks. So I think the dirt maybe eased those tempers a little bit. Everybody kind of knew that race was just going to be something completely different, but now we're, like you guys said, back here on the concrete. It could lend these guys to maybe tipping their caps a little bit to each other, or it could lend them to getting a little bit extra angry at each other, depending on how this race goes. And well, it'll be interesting. We've seen a lot of practicing so far this week, and today especially, a lot of these guys trying to put in some laps to perfect their lap times, perfect their qualifying times. Sounds like the low line is the place to be, but we're going to be going through a transition a little bit later on tonight where this track's going to go from the sun, which it's in right now, to the sunset, all the way to complete darkness surrounding this racetrack. So it'll be interesting to see how that line changes.
Yeah, we've seen the high and the low groove work here. Jake, what groove would you prefer for pretty much the entire race here at Bristol.
Well, that's what I was just talking about there, Hunter. I think we heard the bottom line was preferred earlier today, but that was in a lot of daytime sessions, right? So I think it'll be interesting to see. First off, like we mentioned, the track once the track temp drops when the sun goes down, how much it changes, but also the rubber buildup, right? We heard about that all last weekend at Martinsville in real life, but that also carries over to iRacing. These guys are going to lay some rubber down on the track. The more and more laps they run, the more and more cars that are on the track, it's going to keep building up and building up. And we have 195 laps in our race tonight. So certainly plenty of time to get rubber laid down and see which line will ultimately be the fastest.
Yeah, one driver that's really had some rubber laid down. I'm looking on our practice chart. David Weishart's putting over 100 laps with a little over 4 minutes left in our practice session, and he's fourth quickest. The next highest that I can see, actually our quickest driver, James Scioli, in that number 7.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Hunter. Those guys are putting in those practice laps, and we're also going to open up our bets now. If you guys are watching along on the Twitch channel, you guys got 15 minutes to put in your bets for who you think is going to win tonight. A little bit different than what we did on Tuesday. Tonight, you'll actually get to pick the driver you think that's going to win. We take the top 9 in points because we can only get 10 options there. We put them down as an option. And then if you don't like the top 9 drivers in points tonight, you can go with the field as your 10th option. So you just got to type in ! bet, the driver's last name that you think will win, or the field if you want to pick them, and then the amount of points you want to wager.
Yeah, I'm looking here. I'm just gonna go ahead and place a little 10-point bet. I'm gonna go with the field because I don't see Ryan Hart's on there. Ryan Hart's is at a win in the Cup Series at Dover last year, and he's really good on these short tracks. So I'm gonna go with the field and say that Ryan Hart's will get it done. Just oh, there we go. And you're looking through the chat. That's how it works. ! Bet, and either field or the 9 names that are above it.
Yep. And I was also going to say, even for those of you guys following along that haven't been maybe in the stream in a little bit, we have our new stream store open where you guys can actually use these points to redeem hoodies, t-shirts, stickers, all kinds of stuff we want to add onto that store. So if you guys are interested, like I said, make sure you guys wager those points. Or even if you're not into wagering your points, I would at least add them to the bucket so that the guys who are going for some points can get those points off of tonight's contest.
Yeah, just type in ! store and it'll show you the items that are available. Currently, I have a sticker, which I have on the back of my laptop, and it is pretty top-notch quality. An area t-shirt and an area sweatshirt. So I do have the sweatshirt. It is very comfy. Only thing I'm missing is the area t-shirt. So I'm going to have to do a little more work to get some of those
Hunter,
points.
we might be adding some new stuff on that store here pretty shortly, so definitely stay tuned and stay on the Twitch channel and stay watching. Free stuff, man. You get points just for watching, so definitely hang out with us here. And it looks like we got our playoff picture up here from our producer Harold taking a look going into tonight's race, which a lot can change at Bristol, but it's probably a good feeling if you're Shane Thierin or Cameron Hearn and know you're already locked into the playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously Cameron Hearn locked in, after last week's win at Phoenix, just dominating. This is like a cakewalk for him. But Shane Thierin getting that win at Daytona early really has a different tone for how he drives the rest of the season. Could be a little more laid back, or it could be, I want to get more points as possible. So could see him win a couple more. And then we see Richard Thomas, third, the highest driver without a win. And then Davey Hendricks was the regular season points winner last year in the Cup Series. He's dipping his toes in the Lodgebox Series and currently fourth, not doing too bad. And then we have Alan Elwood, of course, another one of those guys that you have to watch out for every week. Currently fifth in our standings.
Absolutely. I think when you look at this playoff field, Hunter, we got a lot of good names that are on the outside looking in. You got Travis Beckner down there in 13th. We know how quick he's been. He's going to be something to watch out for here tonight at Bristol. Eli Green running 15th right now in the point standings. He's going to be someone to keep your eye out for. So a lot of good names that are looking to break inside that top 12.
Yep, definitely some names to watch out for.
We also have 2 regular season drivers adding their names to tonight's race in Weishart and Ware. Right? They're not. They were not here last week in the Xfinity Series, were they?
I don't believe Danny Ware was. I believe Weishart was in last week.
Jake's not talking at this point, but when I went back in the area, it's like I got 2 extra names added to the list because I usually go back and check our entry list just to make sure that I got everybody's names right. And I saw Ware and Weishart added to the bottom of the list. So I don't remember. But, hey, we'll also look at the team schedule here. There's a team playoff points here with Elwood Designs leading the way. Lead Entertainment behind them, Bell Weishart, which is Jacob Bell and Weishart together, and then Transcendent Motorsports.
Yeah, some good teams here. A lot of team drivers in the field tonight. And you mentioned our team with me and David Weishart we put together. We got some pretty stout drivers, I think, for tonight. James Scioli, Garrett Grant, I think they'll definitely play a hand in tonight's finish. Transcendent Motorsports down there on the bottom as well, Hunter. They're looking to make up some points here tonight.
I was going to say, I saw you put 25 points on Garrett Grant to win.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Yeah, I got a good feeling about Mr. Grant tonight here as we're starting qualifying. Davey Hendricks, first car out on track in that number 94, the Jacksonville, Florida native. He's one of those drivers for Elwood Designs Esports, Hunter.
And he's putting down the first lap. And as always, on the top left of your screen, you'll see the top 10 names and so on and so forth. And then on the top right, just below the Wanna Go Studio logo, you'll see the fastest lap, which goes to Charles Kaneda for the moment. Before Davey Hendricks takes it back.
Takes it right back from him. So a little bit surprising to see Kaneda with a good lap time there with a 15.2 on his first lap. Looks like Ed Robertson's going to set in right between them. But there you see the Infinite Ford Mustang number 97 there, Charles Kaneda. Solid first lap for him. Now here comes Adam Capps from Hampton, Tennessee.
He's put up a 15.336, fifth quickest on the board. And now we go to Richard Thomas in that number 1, looking to put that car number 1 on the leaderboard.
Yeah, he's working with his teammates. Of course, another Elwood Designs Esports driver there in the number 1 Toyota Supra. He's got teammate Davey Hendricks on the pole for the moment, looking to knock him off. As he comes here out of turn 4 to complete lap number 1. It's going to be a 15.229. It's going to put him in second, Hunter, but he's setting up here for lap number 2.
Yeah, the Atlantic City native looking to go one spot better. Wouldn't be surprised if he got a good tan today. It was in the low 70s, high 80s down in southern Jersey before the rain came in, so he probably went out and soaked up some sun just before the thunderstorms came in, and now has dipped the temperature below 70.
Ooh.
Just like Cameron Hearns dipped that 67, not below the track, but
how about this, Hunter? Mason Kane do quick time in the number 32.
Yeah, Mason Kane. Solid lap. Anytime you out-qualify Cameron Hearn. Oh, and look, Ryan Hart's. Guy I said to watch out for, a 15.068. I was going to say, anytime you out-qualify Cameron Hearn, that's got to be a victory in itself. Like a small victory. That
was a very fast lap there from Mr. Ryan Hart. I don't see too many people dropping into the 15.0s in this qualifying session. Travis Beckner, he completes his lap from Fort Myers, Florida. He's going to go 11th on the charts in that number 28.
Here's that 18 of Danny Ware. Go on, Eric.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jake, since you were stepped out for a second here, can you verify that Ware and Weishart are putting their first starts in this season?
Danny, actually, he's made his debut last week at Phoenix. This is Weishart's first start of the season. I think this is also going to be Weishart's only start of the season, talking to him a little bit earlier. Danny Ware, he's going to put it at number 2 on the charts in that number 18. But yeah, David Weishart said he had a little bit of free time this week, set up for tonight, and wanted to come play in the Lodgebox series here at Bristol for their first ever race at this track. So he stepped in, and he'll be piling in that number 33 tonight. There you see Ricky Harden in the number 15 pulling off. And here comes Daytona Winner from race number 1, Shane Theron.
Shane Theron got the 3rd quickest time, and I think that's all he's going to do.
Comes Bryce
Senesac in the 09 coming out.
Yeah. He's another one of the drivers with Bell Weishart's Esports. He's going to be making a run at the trophy here tonight in that number 09. So he's coming to start his lap time. Interesting to see, Hunter. A lot of guys seem to be taking lap 1 as their quick time. So we'll see where that's going to stack up with Mr. Bryce Senesac here as he comes to complete lap 1, if it's going to be up inside that top 10.
We have seen some guys go faster on their second lap.
There's a good lap there from Mr. Senesac. It's going to put him P6. And we'll see if you're right here, Hunter, on lap 2. Let's see if he picks up any.
No. We'll stay P6.
700 slower. Like, we got Fambro, and he's got it in his second though.
P2, yeah.
And then
He's wheeling that thing. We're not on the dirt, but he's wheeling that thing to the right more than the left.
definitely put it out there.
There's another guy that'll put it out there. Alan Elwood always has some speed underneath that number 49. He rolls through 1 and 2. He just took the green flag on his lap. We're seeing the middle and the high groove. One thing to be careful with that high groove is if you scrape it, it will not count the lap time. Although we have seen where some drivers can get away with kissing the wall just a bit. And Alan Elwood, there you go, P2, 15.092. We'll see if he can pick up on his second lap and dethrone Ryan Hart from the pole position.
It's a really good lap one there for the number 49, Alan Elwood. And he's going to get a little bit too much of the wall that time, Hunter, coming out of turn 4. And his qualifying run, but he, right now, for the moment, will start on the front row tonight outside of Ryan Hart. So we got 2 Toyota Supras on the front row, another Toyota Supra in row number 2 in Danny Ware and Colin Fambro, I believe. So our top 5 right now, all Toyotas. Kind of interesting fact there.
So you feel like Green can mix it up with his number 02 Ford from Team Transcendent, looking for a solid night. Eli won the Cup race here Monday night with some controversy at the end, but nonetheless, he's still proving that he's got some speed underneath that 02. 18th quickest on the first lap. 15.436. We'll see if he can improve on that second lap.
Coming down here through 3 and 4, lap number 2. And it's going to get a little hot. I think he kept it off the wall. He did. And he's going to pick up just a little bit. Yeah, he's going to go to P13 there on that second lap.
There's his teammate, or one of his teammates, Forrest Smith, in that 84. Looking a little loose there off turn 4. Let's ride in car with Forrest Smith as he takes the green flag.
It looks like he actually got a lap time posted already. So we'll see here if this is lap 1 or lap 2 for the number 84 as he's heading down here through 3 and 4, coming off the corner. A lot of momentum for these guys coming off the corner. You can see that car just wanting to charge right up there next to the wall, and just gets really, really loose, and you got to corral that thing in and keep it from hitting the wall. I believe his qualifying run might be over, Hunter. He might just be putting in some practice laps here.
See him on the I don't see him on the board. He might have. Yeah, he's just running practice laps.
He had some incident points, so therefore he is not going to be able to get a time counted. But like you said, he's using it for practice, which is, I think, is a pretty good idea. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, not bad. Especially a lot of these guys we've seen before. They come in pretty late into the session. They don't get a lot of time in that 40 minutes of practice we have at the beginning. So if you're able to, man, if you're able to get those practice laps in after your qualifying run, why not? Might as well get some laps underneath you before the big race starts right at the end of qualifying here.
Tell you what is surprising me. We still have a good bit of drivers who have yet to put down a lap time. Now, there is about 2 minutes left in this qualifying session, and we can see, and there's James Skyroley. Like he'll go and put down a lap time, but with how small this track is, it wouldn't surprise me if we see people waiting as little as about less than a minute remaining in the session before putting down some lap times.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think there's going to be like a mad dash. I saw a little bit of clouds up in the sky also coming to cover this racetrack right now, which might be something a lot of these guys were waiting for, as James Skyroley now is going to come and complete one of his laps here in qualifying. He's going to go 19th with a 15.521. So not exactly where Skyroley was looking for, I'm sure, here. He's one of the fastest drivers in practice today. We'll see what he can do here on lap 2.
P2, that's what it'll do. Boy, they're getting a little quicker and quicker, a little closer to that top. 15.076, just 8 1,000ths off of Ryan Hart's time. And now here comes the 27 of Kyle Knapp. Infinite number 27.
Skyroley, the only non-Toyota now in the top 7. AJ Roderick squeezed up there into the 6th spot, another Toyota. So interesting to see all the speed from those Elwood Designs cars. A lot of those guys in those Toyotas tonight. They definitely came to Bristol prepared to qualify. You got the Ford Mustang now, Kyle Knapp, coming to complete lap number 1. He's gonna get a 15.407. It's gonna be P20.
20th quickest, and he's going to work his way through 3 and 4 for the final time in his qualifying lap. Off the corner, very close to scraping the wall, but he'll come away scathed and stay in the 20th position. slower that time.
Ricky Harden just put down a lap of 15.190. He's going to jump inside the top 10 now in that number 15. Project Racing Development's Toyota Supra.
And he will get that time in. Not
Not going
fast
to
as,
pick up, though.
yeah, not faster than his first lap, but we did see, he'll park it in the tire barriers or water barrier.
That was
water
the
barrel.
qualifying car. He doesn't need it. He gotta get a new one. Yeah.
I'll say we saw him try to do that at Daytona, and he barely missed it by about a toenail clipping. I don't know. It was super duper close between him putting his lap time down at Daytona, but he gets it in for Bristol, and now we'll get our starting lineup for you. On the pole, it is Ryan Hartz in the number 3, and on his outside is James Scarlett in the number 7.
Row 2, you're going to have Elwood. That's Alan Elwood, I should say, in the number 49. Outside of him, Colin Fanbro in the number 54. He's going to roll off 4th.
And in row 3, it's Danny Ware in the 18 on the inside, and to his outside, AJ Roderick in the 56.
Row 4, you got Daytona winner Shane Theron in the 38, and outside of him is going to be Mason Kane in the 32.
Row 5, last week's winner Cameron Hearn going to roll off P9, and Ricky Harden just saw put down a time 10th quickest, so slot 10th.
Row 6, that's where you're going to find Bryce Senesac in the 09. Outside of him is going to be Davey Hendricks in the number 94.
Row 7, it's Richard Thomas in the 1, and to his outside, Ed Robertson in the 64.
Row 8 is going to be Eli Green in the number 02. Outside of him, Charles Kaneda in the 97.
Row 9, we'll find Rick Christensen in the 19, and to his outside, Joe Hassard in the number 11.
Round out our top 20 starters tonight, Adam Capps in the 55 and Travis Beckner in the number 28.
Row number 11, it's the 27 of Kyle Knapp, and on his outside, David Weishart in the 33.
Row 12, Garrett Grant in the number 5. Outside of him is going to be Forrest Smith in the number 84.
And in row 13, it's Jordan Martin in the 77 and Andrew Santo on the outside.
Rounding out our final starters tonight, Ed Morris Sr. in the number 14. Outside of him is going to be Jacob Hudson. And then our 29th starter tonight, Carter Coop in the number 52. Just a reminder, guys, you should be able to still get in your bets tonight on who you think is going to win the race. There's our top 9 in points are your options are the field. So make sure you guys type in !bet, last name, and then the amount of channel points you want to wager here tonight, Hunter.
Yep, I already put mine down on the field with Ryan Hartz winning, and oddly enough, he is on the pole. I am going to stick with my pick. Ryan Hartz will win tonight's race.
I'm going to go with Garrett Grant. I know he's going to be having to start way back in the pack, but pretty confident in his short track ability. I like the Ryan Hartz pick, though. I won't lie.
Who you got, Harold?
I'm going to go with James Scioli. I gave him 50 points, so we'll see.
Okay.
So we got the front row covered.
front row and Garrett Grant.
Well, you talked about the stream element points, and you and I were talking about how we were tied, and we're not such anymore. So
no,
but
no. Jake's
the guy pushing the broadcast, I guess he has an unfair advantage. Sorry, we get going.
Pace car in the pit road. Ryan Hart's going to lead the field to the green flag here. We're underway from the last great Coliseum.
Heck of a start right there by Ryan Hartz. He's going to jump out way in front of the field right now. Scioli slots in second, side by side for third still. Alan Elwood, he's got a battle on his hands with Colin Fanbro, but lap number 1 is going to go to that number 3 of Ryan Hartz.
Yep, but now here comes the 7 of James Scioli looking to get that bottom rolling, trying to get underneath him, couldn't quite do it. And they're going to roll into 3 and 4.
We only have 195 laps here tonight, Hunter, so shouldn't be too much of a hassle for these guys. But no, we got a long race set scheduled for us here tonight, so I'm excited to watch this battle between these top 4 drivers right now, actually. Scioli, he got right back up on the bumper of Ryan Hartz, but now he's got Colin Fanbro he's got to deal with.
Say, just like Martinsville last week in real life racing, it seems like there's a lot of laps, but they roll them off like in the snap, just like that. They go quick.
Yeah, we were just talking about lap 1. We're coming to start lap 5 already, just like that, like you're saying. Single file all throughout much of the front of the field. A little bit of a battle starting to form up right around Colin Fanbro, but he's going to stay single file out in front of Alan Elwood right there. Single file actually all throughout the field.
So back, we got a little side-by-side action. I believe it's Cameron Hearn slowly trying to move up through the field. AJ Roderick right behind him. That's the battle for 7th.
It's interesting right now, Hunter. It looks like if you want to make a pass, you want to use the top side of the track. You saw Cameron Hearn get to the outside and just roll the momentum off the corner. Same thing with Mason Kane right behind him. Those drivers are 7th and 8th. Battle starting to look between Alan Elwood again and Colin Fambrough. He does not decide to make the move, and they stay single file.
Fambrough's working that top through 1 and 2, and Elwood's trying to catch him off guard with it. Trying to get a nose in, just can't quite do it yet.
And you're right, these laps are really starting to tick off pretty quick. Working down lap 9 already of this one. No changes throughout our entire top 5 since we dropped the green flag here. Danny Ware, though, he has moved up inside that top 5 with the number 67. How about Cameron Hearn right behind him? He's already up to 6 after starting 9th place here tonight, Hunter.
Cameron Hearn and Mason Kane moving up, and now Elwood moving down low on Fambrough. 54 trying to get that run off the corner to keep the 49 at bay. Now we see a pass for the lead. James Scarley trying to send it on our leader, Ryan Hartz, but Hartz gets thrown off the corner, and so does Fambrough.
Yeah, it's almost like identical battles going on for 1st and 3rd right now. Scioli looked underneath the 3 of Ryan Hartz and just was not able to make it stick. Hartz was able to roll the top, like you mentioned there, Hunter, and took that position right back from him. You see the same thing going on now with Colin Fambrough in the number 54 car. Alan Elwood looks like he might be a little bit quicker, but he's not going to be able to make it work down low.
I know we're not at Daytona and Talladega, but Cameron Hearn and Mason Kane are like 2-car tangling right now. They're just passing guys on the outside, and they're making it stick, and now they're working up on Fambrough and Elwood.
Well, this is what I was wondering about, Hunter, is when do we start to see the groove change? You see just how important it is to be on the top, but ultimately the fast way around's on the bottom. So if you need to make a pass, you got to use the top, but if you're not going to try to make a pass, you want to use the bottom side of the track. So it makes it really difficult for these guys to try to improve their position any. As I see, our top 4 guys are still single file, but if I had to eyeball test right now, Hunter, I'd say James Scioli maybe a little bit faster than Ryan Hartz, and I still think Alan Elwood's a little bit quicker than Colin Fambrough, but they're just not able to make the pass.
Yeah, catching a driver is one thing, but passing him is a whole different game. Now we see the 7 try to pass Ryan Hartz on the bottom. Can't quite do it, but Elwood is oh so close to that bumper of the 54.
And now Cameron Hearn's moved up into the 5th spot, actually dropped Danny Ware. How about this, Hunter? He's all the way down to the 8th position after running this entire race inside the top 5. You see the battle for 3rd yet again. Alan Elwood just keeps peeking that nose underneath the 54. Not able to make it work still.
The Danny Ware fan club not going to be happy hearing that running P8, but Elwood's got to be a little careful if he keeps trying that bottom, because 67 Cameron Hearn could just get a run at any given moment from the top and then leave the 49 out to dry.
Another thing I'm curious, Hunter, is how much longer till we catch lap traffic? We saw it on the Bristol dirt track. It was about 4 or 5 laps, and then all of a sudden you see the back end of the field. Well, tonight we're working lap number 19 already, hard to believe. And Ryan Hartz is starting to slowly creep up on some lap cars about a straightaway ahead.
Yeah, it's Ed Morris and Jacob Hudson that are the first 2 lap cars in front of them. It'll be interesting, because they can't go side by side with the lap cars. Well, battling for the lead and catch the lap cars, that's not going to work.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough, but it's probably how we're going to open up our passing opportunities here tonight. I mean, we've been talking about it since the drop, just how difficult it is to pass. Maybe you see the leader or somebody get held up by a lap car. That's when you take your opportunity to try to improve your position.
Yeah, lap traffic can either be your biggest friend here or your biggest enemy, and we're about to find out with Ryan Hartz in just a handful of laps if it's his enemy or if it's his friend.
I hear a lot of people banging the wall down on the exit of the corners. I just can't quite see who exactly it is, but every lap or so, I keep hearing some metal getting up against that outside retaining wall, and you can tell people are trying to find some grip, trying to find...
Might have been Mason Kane.
Might have been the
He's
number 32.
falling outside the top 10.
Oh, yeah, and he's actually going to be coming down to pit road, it looks like, right now in the number 32, so definitely some issues going on for him. See the right side damage like you're mentioning, Hunter, but not too worse for Ware on that car in terms of damage. It looks like he would be able to continue on, so maybe some other stuff going on in terms of hardware. It looks like, yeah, he's going to actually call it quits for the night in that number 32.
Yeah, right there. He was, like you said, with Cameron Hearn, he was working that top groove, and it seemed like they had a 2-car tango going, but it seemed like he clipped the wall and just, well, when you're pitting under green here at Bristol, you're going to go multiple laps down, and if it was a good bit of laps to repair that damage, then he was probably just going to cut all losses and probably just go up to the grandstand. And while there are no Martinsville hot dogs here, I don't know what they got in Bristol. Barbecue?
They probably got some barbecue. As we see Ryan Hartz, he put Jacob Hudson 1 lap down. He actually went around the top side of this lap car of Jacob Hudson and made that move pretty easily. Hudson got out of the way of the leaders. Now Hartz has got his sights set on Edmore Sr. But, man, James Skylerly just all over the back bumper of this number 3 since the drop of the green.
The lap traffic is not going to race you that easily. I actually see Hudson on pit road.
Hudson is on pit road. The number 32 in Mason Kane, he has called it for the night, so he is done in that Ford Mustang there. We already got one retiree. Still no caution flags here as we work lap number 29 of 195 tonight. If it goes green, Hunter, for this whole entire race, I believe they might have to come down just once for pits for fuel. Then that should be it. And you see Jacob Hudson now coming out of pit road.
It could happen. I mean, we had a handful of races, actually 2 handfuls of races last year where it went green flag for over half of the race and even for the entirety of it. Man, I struggle with my pronunciation.
Look at this lap traffic Ryan Hartz has got to deal with. They're almost going side by side. It's Edmore Sr. Hartz is going to look to the outside. He's going to make the top side work around Edmore Sr. Now he's got Adam Capps in the 55 who's going to pull down to the bottom.
Yep. Oh, he's going to slide. Oh, now he's in the middle. Contact, and the Capps goes around.
Saves it.
Oh, he saved it.
Capps was able to hang on to that after contact with Edward Morris Sr. right around our leaders. Man, it got sketchy there for a second. They did a good job hanging on to that. No caution. Now Reinhardt's another lap car in front of him. This time it's the 6 of Andrew Santo.
55 was sideways. I don't know how he kept that thing going straight.
Well, we'll have to give it an applaud to Adams, to Mr. Santo. He fixed the flag.
Yeah, I think we saw that last week when we were doing the close-up. Well, he fixed it.
Just want to make sure he fixed it. That's a good. Got a lot of calls from Ukraine, I think.
I will say this: since he's gotten around that number 6 that you're talking about there of Andrew Santo, really a good distance between Hartz and the next lap car. It's Ford Smith in the 23rd position, but that's still about a straightaway ahead. So after all that craziness he had for about 5 laps, he gets to settle in for a little bit. Still has to defend the number 7 of James Scioli, but shouldn't have to worry about any lap traffic anytime soon.
You know, looking at Jake, looking at this race here between the 3 and the 7. You know, if I was the 7, I would kind of just lay back a little bit, let the 3 run this race. You got nobody in your rearview mirror. You know you're going to have to pit if this thing continues to go green. You know, might as well beat him off a pit lane.
Yeah, I'm wondering also just about tire wear in general. We know, like we said, only one pit stop for fuel, but just how much will these tires start to fall off? And if it's anything like we know Bristol normally is, it should be pretty significant, and we should see some tire saving be beneficial under these long green flag runs. But it looks like Alan Elwood finally going to make a move now on Colin Fambro as they head down into turn 3 and 4.
8 tenths. Slow.
Do you know
I was
going to say, do you know the fuel window if this thing does go green to the end?
No, I don't know the exact number. I think it's really hard on a half mile track to put an exact number on it. But I know they'll have to pit once for fuel. Shouldn't be anything more than that.
I'll say
missed the pass for 3rd back there. Alan Elwood actually gets around Colin Fambro for that 3rd position.
I'll say they're 8 tenths, almost a second off of their fastest laps right now.
Oh yeah, that's a big drop off. Yep. That's a pretty big drop off here at a half mile track.
The next lap cars that these guys will be catching up on. It looks like it will be Forrest Smith in that 84, Carter Coop, and even the 11 of Hassard.
Yeah, and they're starting to go side by side just in front of Ryan Hartz as well, which might be a little concerning for him. It's the 52 of Carter Coop, who you mentioned it, Hunter. He's racing with the 11 of Joe Hassard. Looks like they're going to settle it out, and now the 84 is going to look underneath the 11. This is a pretty important battle for these guys because if they do end up going a lap down here, they want to make sure they're in position to get the free pass.
I don't know if we ever did it last week, but shout out to Carter Coop because he was actually racing in the Bristol Dirt Track in real life and got a solid fourth place finish. Jake and I, we watched it. He definitely was one of the drivers that had the most momentum in that
Yeah,
race. But
the most momentum.
but just gotta give props to Carter Coop. Phenomenal job in real life, and looking to translate that onto the concrete version of Bristol as they work around Forrest Smith and now working on the outside.
Yeah, I got to give these lap cars some credit tonight. They've done a really good job of holding their line, staying up out of the way from these leaders, and it's allowed Ryan Hartz and James Scioli just to stay tucked up to one another, even though they're lapping a handful of drivers already. So it's pretty impressive to see these guys work around and try to navigate this field.
You saw that Forrest Smith catch a little bit of that darker concrete in the flat part of the apron. He was able to keep it corralled in, but you saw him jump about a half a car length up almost into the side of Scioli.
But now they're actually catching up on Carter Coop, the next car in front of the guys.
Do you anticipate this many green flag laps, Hunter?
I did not. I actually expected an early yellow, but we did not. We did not get that.
I mean, at this rate, we'll be done in about 20 minutes. It feels like with the way they're putting these laps down.
Go back to our debut as a group, the three of us, back to the Rick's Hot Sauce Late Model series, right? We done we've done less than an hour.
Oh, Garrett Grant in the number 5, right in front of the leaders, goes sideways and saves it. Something with Garrett Grant right now. I saw him twice get sideways like that in the last few laps.
Carter Coop actually scraped the wall as the leaders were on the inside, but he works out of there. I was actually going to give props to Garrett Grant because he was as far back as 27th, and he was slowly creeping his way inside the top 20, and then he had his little kerfluffle there. Oh. Then we see another kerfluffle there with the next lap car. That's the number 97, Charles Canida.
And Ryan Hartz has done a very impressive job of just staying smooth, given what the lap cars are allowing him to take. They want him to go low. If they want him to go high, he's just been really smooth, whatever lane he's had to run so far tonight.
The more and more you work your way through the field, the more and more these lap cars are going to fight to stay on the lead lap.
A little bit of contact between Fambro and Joe Hazard as Fambro is trying to get past the lap car of Hazard.
Oh, Adam Capps just sent it in there deep for a second. I thought he was going to get into the number 7.
That 55 is still rolling sideways.
Yeah, it looks like Capps must have came down and got some fresh tires, Hunter, a few laps ago.
Whoa. Who is that? Is that Eli Green?
Yes, Eli Green right in front of the leaders.
Oh, he was
Adam
really
Capps,
sideways.
new rubber, and he's definitely flying through this group here as the caution comes out. Yep.
Well, that's going to help Eli Green. He'll stay on the lead lap. This actually might involve the 5 of Garrett Grant, if I'm looking correctly. We'll get a better look at our want-to-go replay.
On
that
Garrett
is
Grant.
The 5 of Grant. And he just loses it coming out of 4 into the inside wall.
Man, that's tough. Something was going on with him that run, Hunter. Like I said, I was noticing it from where I'm sitting right now. I saw him get sideways like that, slide it off the corner 2 or 3 times, where everybody else is starting to get tighter as the run goes on. So something was definitely not right with Garrett Grant. You saw him go around there and bring out our first caution.
See if we can work on that number 5 and get it repaired as we're under our first caution here. Lap 56 of 195 for it's Bristol, baby, 200.
Canada was our lapped car that got his lap back, and down they come pit lane.
So these guys, because of how pit lane is, they're going to enter on the back stretch. So coming out of turn 2 and down the back stretch, and if your pit box is on the other side of the front stretch, you have to go all the way around on the apron. Well, below the apron in this case, but you get the point. They still have to go all the way around at pit road speed. And then we'll see those guys that have the front stretch pit stalls, like the 3 of Ryan Hartz, like the 7 of James Scioli, come down and make their pit stops.
And this is important. This is what Harold was talking about under that long green flag run. Scioli stayed right up to the number 3 of Ryan Hartz and did not let him get away. We're going to have to see if he's able to beat him off of pit road here.
Tires going up together, the Camaro and the Toyota. Wow. He got down just a brief second quicker, but not enough to pass him.
Everybody's going to put on 4 tires and fill it up with fuel, it looks like, down here on pit road. And they're off and away. You mentioned that it was the number 97 who got the free pass there. That's going to put us back to 19 cars on the lead lap, Hunter.
But Ryan Hartz did win the battle off pit road. Kind of interesting to see the 3 under the Toyota Supra body.
Forrest
And it
Smith
looks like
is
Forrest
going to
Smith-
stay out and try
Yeah.
it so that way he can get back on the lead lap. But, yeah, we'll see how that works out for him. So we have 20 drivers will be on the lead lap.
Yeah, why not? Try something new.
Series director Brad Slaughter, of course, making the call on that one. Just the self-spin there on the number 5. He got the EOL per Mr. Brad Slaughter.
And Grant is actually still in pit road.
Yeah, it sounds like Grant might be done for tonight. But
Field works their way through the front stretch, and I believe we'll get the one to go this time by, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And we'll see they
You're on it.
go around the big car.
you are on it tonight, Hunter. And look at Ryan Hartz. He's doing the same thing we saw on the dirt track, like our buddy Randy down in chat was mentioning. He's going to pick the top again here, Hunter. He knows that's the fast lane around, and he wants to stay up high.
Yep, no funny business like last week at Phoenix, where we saw the field restart on the bottom, and then it slowly migrate to the top. And the top just seemed like the lane to be in. That's where Ryan Hartz will restart the race from, with James Scioli do his inside. So it's like we're going back green for the first time. No changes to the front row. Back green here at Bristol.
What a launch from that number 3 of Ryan Hartz. He's going to
Being the
pull
leader
way
does
out.
have it works.
Oh, yeah, he pulls way out in front of James Scioli. Looks like Adam Capps was laid off a pit road there, so he's going to pull down to the apron, let this field get by. Alan Elwood probably grinning right now, Hunter. He was able to get around Colin Fambrough before that yellow flag came out, so now he's running third, and he doesn't have to worry about trying to make the bottom or the top lane work and make his pass. He did it already.
Too long, I'll have to worry about Shane Thierry in that 38. He got by Fambrough also.
Yeah, look at that battle for 6. Cameron Hearn down low. Danny Ware up high in the number 18. I'm curious how this is going to work out, because Danny is actually rolling the top, even though Cameron Hearn has the advantage down low.
Battle of the fan clubs. Cameron Hearn versus Danny Ware. The battle that the chat has always wanted to see.
They are dead even, Hunter, around this racetrack. Looks like Ware's going to give it to him there going into 3.
Oh, he slid it in.
Yeah, he did.
Back on the bottom.
But I think Hearn might have that spot now pretty much locked up as he gets to the high side, and he does.
He got it.
Back up front, look at this, man. These guys have just been on top of each other from the drop of the green.
Here we go. Scioli down on the bottom.
It's like good old Bristol, Hunter. If you want to really get around somebody, there's only one way to do it, but they might not like it.
Bump. That's all you need. Just the bumper.
They
See,
might
the
not
lights
like
are
it,
back
though.
on. You see the sky
That
is
works.
starting to get dark here.
Yeah, it is definitely getting darker and darker here and deep in the valleys. Elwood's kind of closes into sort of a 3-car battle for the lead.
Yeah, it looks like these drivers are just having fun right now, Hunter. I bet you being behind the wheel, getting these green flag laps in a track like Bristol with a lot of talented race car drivers, it's a lot of fun, it looks like.
Oh, absolutely. And once you get into a rhythm, I'm sure it's even more fun.
Yeah, that green flag run, I'm sure, was like music to their ears, man. Based off these first couple weeks we've had, everybody's starting now to pull it together. We're going to get to some real race tracks, no dirt tracks, no funny short tracks, nothing like that. So it should be getting better and better as the weeks go on here.
Oh, and better is what the 49 of Alan Elwood's trying to do. Is he skirted there on the bottom, still trying to look low on Scioli for that second spot, but he's going to tuck it back in line.
Starting to see
Boy,
the
I'll tell
rubber
you.
get laid down on that racetrack too. They're starting to darken up.
You're starting to see the cushion be formed.
I don't know if I'd call it a cushion. Maybe a cushion of marbles up against the wall. You could say that might be the cushion.
You don't want to get into those marbles, because that will
No.
that'll upset the car, and the tires for about a lap or two before they.
Well, hey,
go
Hunter,
back to normal.
if you want to see just the difference of how much better fresh tires in than the 60, 70 lap old tires that we were running on, Forrest Smith, you mentioned, stayed out to get the way round and get his lap back. He is already about to go one lap down from the leaders. That is how much quicker those fresh tires are. You see Forrest Smith there on your screen, and then you look back to the battle for the lead, and it's Ryan Hartz, and he's bringing the whole train with him.
Choo-choo down on the bottom. Oh, got close to scraping that wall there, Forrest Smith did.
You know, Hunter, you pointed out Shane Theron in the 38 sneaking his way up inside the top 5. He's up to 4th, and he's looking pretty good right now.
Wood on the outside. There we go.
Look at Elwood make the top work there. He squeezed through him, like you said.
We have a new challenger. It's the 49 of Alan Elwood. Can he get around the 3 of Ryan Hartz?
He looks fast right now. He's got a different line working than Ryan Hartz. Ryan been really running that middle line, but Elwood, he's putting it up higher than anybody else we've seen tonight.
Ryan Hartz is shutting the door, but he keeps leaving that top open, and 49 is going to take it all day long.
Top number 77, and we got the same exact battle for the lead that we've had since the drop of this. It's been some really good racing here on Bristol Motor Speedway, the concrete version, not the dirt version anymore, and we got some old-fashioned, good old short track racing.
Yep, and coverage of that racing is brought to you by Elite Entertainment. We would like to thank Elite Entertainment for their support of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series this season, and from all of us here at Area iRacing. Be sure to check out Elite Entertainment on Facebook and book them to DJ your next event. Elwood's trying to book his next lead, trying to get around the 3 of Ryan Hart, so I couldn't quite do it that time.
Provide us with some more entertainment, right? There we go. Tie it all together. But definitely has been quite the race so far, man. I'm honestly a little surprised at just the amount of green flag laps and green flag racing we've had, considering how close the times were in practice and how close everybody's been, you know, in race pace. I thought we would be kind of in trouble a little bit with maybe some caution flags, but man, these guys have put on a show.
I want to give a quick shout out. We got some of the Beckner family members tuning in for tonight's race, to Grandma Vicky, Granddad Dave, and Uncle Brian watching along. Beckner currently running in the 16th spot, trying to work his way through the field. Can't quite do it just yet, but never know. After halfway, things can go haywire for some drivers.
And it's like Elwood just seems so fast in the middle portions of these runs, and he's able to do just about everything except finalize that pass, whether it was for third place at the time on Colin Fanbro, for second on James Scioli, or now for the race lead on Ryan Hartz.
Yeah, now he's going to try the bottom. Can't do it on the top. Try it on the bottom. Field works their way on Jacob Hudson, the lap car. Oh, whoa. Almost got flashbacks to Daytona right there. Oh, he's keeping that car low and out of the way.
A little bit more banking here than Daytona down there in the apron, though, so it allowed him to actually hold on to the car, but I was feeling the same there, Hunter.
I can already see them coming back.
I'll tell you what, this is going to be mind-blowing and doesn't even sound real, but right now you got race leader Ryan Hartz. Look up in front of him again. The next lap car already, Hunter, is Forrest Smith in the 84 on those old tires.
Yeah, and he's already fallen back quite a few spots since he's gone a lap down. Carter Couth is actually the first car in line to receive a free pass if the yellow were to come out at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, Forrest Smith right now, he's running 16.7s as his lap times. The leaders are 16 flats, so over a half a second off pace. But again, he's on those 88 lap old tires right now, so he has his hands full, that's for sure. Was hoping for a quick caution and just didn't quite get it.
Of all the places you'd expect a quick caution, it's not happening here at Bristol.
I know, and we're approaching halfway already, man. It's crazy.
These 15, 16-second lap times, they go by just like that in a snap.
Only have 2 drivers out of the race, it looks like. Mason Cannon, the number 32, and then the 5 of Garrett Grant
Forrest
have
Smith.
both called it for tonight.
Forrest Smith just called over the radio, coming down pit lane. He can't handle it no more.
Yeah, there he goes. He's going to pull it down on the entrance of turn 1 there.
Yeah. So you telling your crew chief, look, it was worth a shot, but I need new tires.
Like Adam Morris might be out of the race as well. Jacob Hudson has pulled in the pit, and he's
How
falling
about
back when he
James Scioli there, Hunter? He got around the outside of Alan Elwood again. Hate to cut you off on that, but it was impressive the way he did the exact same thing Alan Elwood did to him. He just snuck his nose on the outside and made it work.
say he pulled the Uno reverse card on Alan Elwood.
Yes, he
used it
did.
against him. Now we're seeing Therian try on the outside.
And he's going to do it. He's going to get just...
Remember, those are teammates.
Yeah, you passed the boss. I don't know how that works.
Looks like the 54 of Colin Fambro is caught up with this pack, so we got about a second separating our top 5. But then Cameron Hearn just in the background there in P6.
Yeah, I always wondered how that worked. You know, now they, they have an actual owner driver in the, in Kozlowski in the Roush system. You know, when he gets around Buschard, he say like, "Get out of my way, let me by," or how's that work?
Well, if he wrecks the car, it's coming out of his paycheck.
About
Another
live
position
team orders,
change going on. Alan Elwood going the wrong direction in that number 49, and he was so much quicker in that middle portion of the run, Hunter. I think he might have just used up a little bit too much of his tires. He fell back from James Scioli. The 38 was also able to get around him. Then Colin Fambro now peeking underneath him, but it's not able to make the pass. We do have a 6-car breakaway that you mentioned all the way back to Cameron Hearn, and then it's a good chunk back to the number 18 there of Danny Ware back in 7th. About a second and a half plus back to him.
Or the Cameron Hearn fan club is winning the battle.
You see all those lap cars are starting to catch up to in front of these guys.
Yep, and Ryan Hart's just now going to go to work on them. He's got the 55 of Adam Capps up first. He's going to be able to navigate around that number 55 machine. Then he's going to be the number 11 of Joe Hazard, as well as the 6 of Andrew Santo next up.
Shane Therian has closed in on these top 2.
Yeah, he has, man. He's been impressing me this season, Hunter. He had an impressive drive to end last year. He made it to the Final Four of the Lodgebox Series. But, man, this season it seems like he's really came back even stronger.
Lap traffic on the outside. The leaders working down on the bottom. We are through our halfway break, so we can take a look at our top 10 rundown presented by Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor, Swift Lifestyles, for clean supplements that can help improve your focus and gaming. Use the discount code on your screen, AREA iRacing, AREA iRacing, for 15% off your entire purchase. We would once again like to give a big thanks to Swift Lifestyles for their continued support of AREA iRacing. Our leader, Ryan Hartz, has just clinched most laps led. Doubt anyone can do that.
Let them all.
Lead more than, anyone can lead more than what that number 3 car has led, but he's just the dominant car. You can catch him, but you can't pass him. And that's one thing that James Scioli has found a bit of trouble doing so. He tried on the outside, tried on the inside. He just can't quite do it, but he'll have over 90 laps left of racing here in Bristol to change that.
How about third place, Shane Therian? We've been talking about him since the drop of this thing. Oh, caution out, actually.
Oh, what are the odds? As soon as we do the rundown, the yellow comes out and messes everything up. Well, we'll take a look at our one-to-go replay presented by Swift Lifestyles, and it looks like it's the 52 of Carter Coupe.
Ooh, I don't know. There's a couple things that went on here, Hunter. We can watch this one here with Carter Coupe first, but I got another one teed up for us. Looks like Carter Coupe is racing with the 97 there, Charles Canita. This is probably for the free pass, I believe, as well, Hunter. Oh, right there's the contact. I think the caution might have been with what I was looking at there with the 54 and the 67 here. They were working around lap traffic. It was working around Andrew Santo, and you can see what happens here, Hunter, when they go side by side and the 6 gets into the wall.
Oh, yeah, 6 into the wall, 67 into the wall. 54 is going to go sideways, but won't hit anything. And yeah, that's a tough break there for Cameron Hearn. And that's one of the downsides with lap traffic here on such a small track like Bristol. See, the leader is coming down pit road once again. We're going to see who took that free pass. Was it Carter Coop?
Yeah, he just went around as we got the field on pit road. But yeah, Carter Coop's going to get the free pass there. Andrew Santo is actually going to get deemed at fault for that incident. And we saw the 67 hit the wall hard. That's going to be a tough blow to his race. I believe the 54 Colin Fanbro should be okay here. But we are on pit road here. It looks like he still got the replay up as well there, Harold. Just a heads up on that. The whole field, though, coming in, led by Ryan Hartz, Hunter.
We're still under caution.
We'll see if we can... see if the three can take this lead off pit road. Don't think anyone's going to try and do 2 tires.
4 tires all the way down the board. Hartz is going to win the race off. Scioli's second, Shane Theron third, and then the 4th place car is going to be the 49 of Alan Elwood. Colin Fanbro is still going to hold on to that 5th place position even after contact with him and Cameron Hearn.
So Bristol living up to another people call it the mini Dover, and the wall came out and went out and tried to eat some. So Miles trying to eat a little early.
You gotta wait for your turn. We got Dover in a couple of weeks there, Miles. Hold your horses.
Hey, tough break. Cameron Hearn, the number 67, is out of the race tonight due to that contact with the lap car there of Andrew Santos. So he's done. A little bit of a surprise here.
I think we can go and finish our rundown really quick under the yellow. So we were on Shane Theron. There, the number 38, he won at Daytona. He's worked his way through the field inside the top 5. Currently finds himself 3rd. And Alan Elwood, he has been a challenger to Ryan Hartz, but can't get by him. Seemed like he used up a good bit of his tires there on the last green flag run and finds himself in the 4th spot.
Colin Fanbro now is going to be P5 in that number 54. We just saw him with the contact with Cameron Hearn that brought out our caution. It looks like they are doubling up here, Hunter, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it back up to you so we can get this restart here. Danny Ware, though, is going to be our 6th place guy on the outside there. I think we can probably wrap it up there on our rundown as we are getting set to go back under green.
Yep, Ryan Hartz once again chooses the outside. James Scioli choosing the inside, and it's like we never went green. The front row has stayed the same, no matter what wrench you throw at it. And the flagman's going to throw that green flag back in the air, and we're underway once again in Bristol. Oh, a little bit delayed.
They had to wait for the leader to get going.
Sometimes it'll catch you off guard. You're just in awe with what you're seeing in front of you. We're seeing these guys working their way through 1 and 2 and down the backstretch. Alan Elwood actually took over 2nd from James Scioli.
Yeah, that's a big battle right there. We saw how quick the 49 is in the early parts of the run, so this could be key for him setting up for a potential race-winning move on the number 3 of Ryan Hartz now. He's already clear of Scioli. He's got his sights set on the lead now.
See if he can preserve some of that tire wear, because this thing could go green to the very end.
Absolutely. And I think that's got to be something on these drivers' mind, is that if this race does go green, you want to make sure you got some tire left over at the end of this thing. Danny Ware and Colin Fanbro going after one another. That's for the 5th spot as they exit turn 4 and head down the front stretch.
I was going to say, a good battle back there for 5th. Fanbro looks like he got clear of the 18.
And they were side by side off of turn 4 there, and Fanbro, he was up top and he was able to make that high side work. He clears Danny Ware now. Pretty much single file through much of the field again.
Got our drone cam following the action here.
Oh, look at that. That's a pretty cool camera shot right there.
Shout out Harold Darner, our executive producer, for pulling that up.
He's on the drone, too. He's flying it around.
He does it all.
Yeah. Trying not to crash.
Well, me and Hunter, we were watching the Bristol Dirt event on XR Plus a couple weeks ago, and Hunter had made the joke that drone operator is getting a little too close to those race cars, so make sure you don't do that or else you might get yelled at.
Yeah, he quite literally almost hit a race car. No,
No.
he literally almost flew the drone onto a race car in the middle of the track.
Wow.
I think he tried to give him the old bump and run, but
Wow.
the stock car is a little bit bigger than the drone.
A little bit faster too, even on a slow track like this. But yeah.
The race car is a lot less fragile than the drone.
Oh yeah, the drone was self-destruct.
Top four have broken away again. It's interesting to me to see just how the groups have kind of separated every run of this race. At first, it was that 4-car pack, and then last run it was that 6-car pack with Cameron Hearn at the tail end. Now again, we got a 4-car pack up front that's separating themselves from Colin Fanbrough. I'm wondering if that 54 might have a little bit of damage from the last incident, and that might be hurting his speed because he's a little bit off pace than what he was on that first run of the race.
It might be that, or he could just be thinking about the long game here. Seeing the top 4 run away, preserving some of that tire. Don't really see anyone else behind him pushing the issue.
Slight damage. You could see that the fender and the back well there and the front hood's just a little bit up. Not a heavy amount of damage, but a little bit on the 54. Wouldn't think it would affect him that much.
We've seen Kyle Busch race here without a rear bumper after losing that literally on lap 2, and almost found victory lane, but couldn't quite just do it there with the yellows at the end of that race.
I'll tell you what, man, 195 laps might have been a little bit too little. We might be out of here early tonight, boys, the way these guys are putting down laps. We got 72 to go?
Makes up for the rest of the week. Or Daytona. Or Phoenix.
I was going to say, this week hasn't been too bad. Bristol Dirt went by pretty quick, but I think Phoenix was our biggest broadcast we've had this season in the Cup cars. That was a long one.
Yeah.
It was indeed a long one. I don't want to be reminded of that.
Jacob Hudson looks like getting off track there. He's going another lap down. He actually is bringing it down on the pit road, it looks like.
So went to bed. My wife had her phone in her hand calling 911. Who are you? You know, by the time I got to bed that night, so.
little later than usual, she was thinking.
And it's like, who are you? Where you been? That's exactly. All right, so Hearts and Elwood are definitely trying to figure. It's like, I think Scioli, if I was him, I'd be kind of letting Elwood put the bumper or push the 3 and just kind of ride back here and save tire.
Yeah. Well, I think the only concerning thing we've seen tonight is we haven't even seen a single pass for the lead, right? We've seen some pretty good racing, but it seems like it's really hard for those guys to find a way around Ryan Hartz. I'm not sure if that's because Ryan Hartz is just doing a really good job defending or if it's just the way that the setup is with these cars making it really hard to pass. But I don't know. He's probably going to try everything he's worth to get around that number 3.
Still a lot of race to go.
Don't want to put the bumper too early because then the 3 will he'll put that in the back of his mind for later. Yes.
Yeah, that's the key. If you're gonna pull a bump and run on somebody, you better do it good enough to where you get far enough away that they can't do it back to you. You saw it with the Ross Chastain, AJ Allmendinger incident. Same thing applies here, man. If you're gonna use that bump and run, better hope that you're able to get away. Looks like David Weishart making a pass further back in the field. He's going to get around the 64 of Ed Robertson. A little bit shocking to me, Hunter, that the 33 of Weishart back there in 12th, now 11th, make that. He was one of our top guys last season in this Lodgebox series. He was up there competing for wins week in and week out with Cameron Hearn. Hasn't been able to find the success tonight. He just got around Ed Robertson, like I mentioned. He's running outside the top 10. I think a lot of people got to point to David Weishart as maybe one of the favorites coming into this thing tonight, but not able to put it together yet.
You did mention that this would be his one and only Lodgebox race of the season. Had a little free time, so he's like, why not? I'll go in, race Bristol. Probably not thinking about it too much, like kind of like Dale Jr. And oddly enough, Dale Jr. finished 11th.
Look at that. Well, Weishart, he is closing in on the number 1 of Richard Thomas in pretty quick order. Oh, actually, Thomas is going to throw a little bit of a block down there in 3 and 4, right on top of David Weishart, who looks quick right now, Hunter. That's the thing with that 33. He's just having a hard time getting around these guys. Same thing we're seeing up front as well. So, about to see what the 33 can do here on the long run.
He's got a little bit of damage there on the left rear.
And maybe that could be slowing the car down a little bit. I mean, we saw the damage on the 54, and he's a little bit off pace, but look at Weishart try to send it in underneath. I think he's got speed, Hunter. It's just going to be hard for him to try to pick his way through the field.
Definitely hard trying to do it on the bottom. Try to slide up there in front of the 1. Couldn't quite do it, and especially with damage too, that's Repacy for disaster, as I've heard in the past.
A Repacy?
Yes, they said Repacy.
Makes the
Well,
pass, though, Richard Thomas.
yeah, the Repacy did work that time.
Back up inside the top 10 now. Looks like the leaders had a lap car they had to get around there. It was actually Cameron Hearn. He pulled back out onto the racetrack, so got the damage repaired on that number 67 and came back out. I'm hoping we don't see a Matt Kenseth, though, with the way that race car looks, because the 6 is still out there, and I don't think Cameron Hearn's too happy with him.
No, I don't think he's happy with him. Oh, he's still on the track. Cameron Hearn is.
Yeah, he just came back out. Yep, that's what I was saying. But he's got the Matt Kenseth look. He's out there in a modified, essentially. So he might be headhunting for that number 6 here in a few short laps.
He could be, and he might say, "Oh, I had a right front go down in the corner. Nothing I could do."
We'll see.
We all know what you're doing.
We will see.
He's got that modified look, though.
Yep. The number 6 of Andrew Santo, he's getting passed right now from the 38 of Shane Theron. So that's going to put the 6 another lap down. He's now 3 laps down on today's score. Scioli looking to the top of Alan Elwood for second.
Yeah, he's trying that top. Oh, he might have it there.
It was close.
Yeah, it is definitely close. But that 7 slowly starting to get around the 49, or trying to. I don't know. It just seems like the short run, the 49 uses up his tires a little bit too much.
Scioli is quick right now. I got to agree with you there, Hunter. Eyeball test right now, I'd got to give it to the 7 as they're working around Forrest Smith and the number 84. He's going to go another lap down here tonight. He did the same strategy, by the way, on that last caution. He stayed out to use the waiver out there, so he's feeling the effects of older tires yet again tonight.
Alan Elwood having a connection issue. You see him bouncing in and out. That's going to make Scioli have to second guess where he's actually at on the racetrack.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah, definitely puts the 7.
Battle for 4th. Colin Fambro and Shane Theron going at it for the 4th spot. They were side by side off of 4. Theron didn't have quite the run that he wanted. Now Fambro capitalizes on that mistake, and now Danny Ware looks to.
I was going to say, how about Danny Ware up there in the mix now, too? Where did he come from?
From the back.
He's done a good job keeping that thing clean.
Where he come from. Hope the Beckner family's still tuning in. Travis has just cracked the top 10.
Yeah, I noticed that number 28 back there. He's creeping up inside the top 10.
Weishart as well, also up to P9. Actually, P8. He's passing AJ Roderick as we speak.
Oh yeah, side by side there, 33 and the 56. And it's looking like the 33, Hunter, like you mentioned, trying to make that bottom work, and he's done so. He's passed a couple cars now on the bottom side of the racetrack. It's getting good, man, towards the end of this thing. We're seeing some comers and some goers.
The one car that's coming is the 33, and one car that looks to be going is the 49 of Alan Elwood, although he's still in front of James Scioli, but seems like the tires are fading way quicker on that 49 than the 7.
Yeah, they had to work around some lap traffic again. It seems like all night we're going to be talking about lap traffic here. But Ryan Hartz finally has to clear racetrack one more time for the next few laps that he's going to be able to try to stretch and grow his lead on the number 49 on. But the 7 of Scioli, I would be a little worried if he gets into second place.
He's trying to diamond that corner to get a run there. Oh, couldn't quite do it that time, but he's entering up high, and then at the apex, he's diamonding it back down low. Sort of build some momentum.
Caps down low is going to pull it off track into pit lane once again. The next car that we're going to go to put a lap down tonight, if the 3 can get to him, it's going to be Ricky Harden in the number 15 down there in the 19th spot. So first time this season we've actually been able to see Ricky Harden for an entire race. He had some prior obligations he was finishing out, but he was able to make some starts at Daytona and Phoenix, but this time at Bristol he's going to get to run the full thing.
As Hartz continues to pull away from the 49 and the 7, who look to be battling for that second spot still, and it's almost 7 car lengths now for Ryan Hartz.
Yeah, and +1 again for David Weishart. This time, Davey Hendricks in the 94 is actually just going to pull over and let him go. Some respect there between 2 veteran drivers on this service, Weishart and Davey Hendricks there. So clean move. Weishart now up to P7, Hunter. We got to keep our eye on him, I think.
He could come very late. You never know.
Yeah, he's been creeping, man, around that top 10 all night long, around top 15, and towards the end of this thing, he's up there.
That is Eli Green in the wall. Cut to the 67 to Cameron Hearn, still on the racetrack as he's Still logging in some laps, 16 laps down in the 23rd spot. This is the 6 of Santos come on the pit road.
But he did
Yeah, I
get
was gonna
past
say.
him. He went
Yeah,
by.
yeah. Hearn and Santa raced around each other in no issues, so maybe they're moving on.
Just
Carter
like
Coop
the
now
three
going a lap down.
Carter Coop stuck in the wall. Elwood still holding on to that second spot. Well, that's going to be tight. Oh, very close there with Coop nearly scraping the wall and Elwood down on the inside. There's Ricky Hearn, and those two are still at it, and now they're both wrecking.
Oh,
Now
it's a
they're stretching
15.
into the corner. The yellow's going to come out once again here at Bristol.
Wow, right into Colin Fambro.
They were both battling to stay on the lucky dog spot because it was going to come down between those two. But the 52 was just way too high. He was scraping the wall multiple laps before this, and see here in our one-to-go replay, he's just way too high. Something not right with the car. And right here on corner exit, going to clip the wall. The 15, those two make contact. And right there, the 54 of Colin Fambro, nowhere to go. He's caught up in another wreck once again.
And it's with lap traffic. I mean, that's back-to-back times now Colin Fambro has gotten in a mess with lap cars. And I honestly can't even put it on the 15 or Ricky Hearn there. He did a good job, letting the leaders by and working around them. It was really the 52 Carter Coop there who got into the wall and triggered that whole thing. And there's just an unfortunate timing there for the 54. Almost was able to get around the 15, but definitely can't even put no blame there on the 15 of Ricky Hearn. He did what he was supposed to do. It was just that 52 slapping the wall there. And series director Brad Slaughter is going to go ahead and issue the EOL to the 52 of Carter Coop.
And I don't think we'll get a lucky dog considering the first two drivers a lap down wrecked.
Yeah, I don't think we will either. But I'm also curious, Hunter, now everybody coming down on pit road, we're going to get an opportunity to see what David Weishart can do inside the top 10 on this run with fresh tires as well.
Oh, yeah. We see the field come down pit road. See if the three can stay the leader, or will someone try and do two tires? I doubt it. We wait to see the battle off of pit road. Not too much of a battle. The 3, the 7, the 49. Shane Thieren is going to come away with 4th. Weishart up to 5th.
Watch out.
So we're under caution once again here at Bristol for the Lodgebox Series. The It's Bristol Baby 200, presented by CNC Logging. We would like to thank CNC Logging for their support of the CNC Logging Truck Series this season in area. Located in Boiling Springs, South Carolina, CNC Logging is your place to go for any of your logging needs. Got wood, big or small, summer or fall, we'll cut your log, guaranteed. CNC Logging.
Kill it every time on that ad read, man. Well, we got ourselves a show now, Hunter. 33 laps to go. When they get to green, it's going to be about 30 laps to go. It's been Ryan Hart's all night long in that number 3. But we got some new faces now we got to watch out for. Shane Thieren up to 4th. David Weishart up to 5th. Danny Ware up to 6th. These guys are all going to restart right behind our top 3, and they're going to be hungry to get up front.
I don't think lap traffic should be a factor. I don't think it should, but it very well could be if this thing goes green to the very end. If there's another caution within these next 30 laps, then it definitely won't be a factor.
Ricky Hearn stayed out to stay on
even
the
with all
lead
the
lap.
damage.
Yeah, 55 laps now is what it says. We'll get back to him real quick as you see him going around.
Right, intriguing.
He's like, man, I don't need no stinking pit stop.
We look up front. Once again, the front row has not changed at all. Anytime we've had a restart, it's still Ryan Hart's on the outside, James Scott Early on the inside, leading the way back under green flag conditions here at Bristol.
Good launch again from the 3. The 7's going to settle into 2nd. Side by side for 3rd, it's teammates Alan Elwood and Shane Thieren.
Ethereum got that car rolling on the top. Elwood trying to make it stick on the bottom. Can't quite do it. He's going to settle back in line for fourth.
30 to go here, Hunter, and that 38's looking strong.
I'll say it is go time for these guys. If they want to pass the 3, now is their chance, and they have to use the bumper. There's no way you can pass cleanly for the win here at Bristol within the closing stages.
And we got the top 4 broken away. Weishart kind of on his own island back there in 5th. Before you get back to 6th place running Davey Hendricks, who's had a really solid night in that number 94. Got to give him a shout out. Keeping that thing clean, staying out of trouble, and right now he sees himself well inside the top 10 just because of that.
Ethereum working the top, Skylerly working the bottom, both trying to capture the lead from the 3 of Ryan Hart's.
And Skylerly's he's tried everything, Hunter, all night, and he just hasn't been able to make it work around the number 3.
If he keeps that top open, that 38 car is going to snatch it.
Scioli's look strong, but I think if we got to give a power rankings on the last 50 laps alone, Hunter, you got to put Shane Theron up towards the top of that thing. He has been consistently driving closer and closer to the front. Now he finds himself sitting 3rd, less than 30 to go, actually make it 25 to go already, and that 38's got a shot at the win. If these two in front of him get real racy and run into each other, I think you got to be in the right spot, and that's exactly what the 38's been doing all night long.
I was going to say, he's in the capper to see if anything happens to the front 2, which could happen. It is Bristol.
But man, those front 2 are good though, Hunter. Ryan Hart's, James Scioli, those guys are high I rating drivers. They like the short tracks. We see them run well at tracks where you really got to, drive and the driver makes the difference, and it's no surprise to see them up front. So it will be shocking to see if they make a mistake, but you mentioned it, man. It's Bristol, baby. Anything can happen at this track.
Just like teammates going out for 3rd. Elwood trying to pass Therian on the bottom. Getting a little bit impatient. Going to slide up right in front of him, and the 38's going to stay tucked in. So Alan Elwood up to 3rd. Now has his eyes set once again on the front 2 of Ryan Hart's and James Scioli. Pair of lap cars in front of our leaders. It's Ricky Harden and Adam Capps. They're both going to stay to the outside.
Man, these lap cars have been trouble tonight, just trying to navigate them, but that's exactly what you expect when you come to a track like Bristol.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to do so, though. They're going to be able to navigate around them cleanly there. Again, Ricky Harden doing his job, staying up top. Adam Capps letting these guys go. It's allowed this top 4 to move through cleanly, but there is a little bit of separation amongst all 4 of these guys.
But not so much between the front 2 of Skylerly and Hart's. They've been bumper to bumper for, I'd say, half the race at this point.
I mean, I don't know if I've seen a race where somebody has drove as steady as Ryan Hart's has tonight. I don't think there's been a single wheel input wrong. I don't think he's hit the brake pedal wrong. I don't think he's done anything wrong tonight other than just run that middle lane, making it hard for these guys to get around him and just staying smooth on the wheel.
Elwood slowly trying to close in. He's about half a second back from James Scioli, 7 car lengths back from Ryan Hart's. Closing in with 15 to go. Anything can happen.
Well, Tuesday night, Hunter, we were here for the Bristol truck race on the dirt, and it was exactly like this. Ryan Hart's got out front. He was making the low line work better than everybody else, and he was able to hold on and steal the win with about 20 laps to go when he got out front. Tonight, it has been the opposite. He's been out front since the drop of the green flag. He's had to hold off Alan Elwood. Oh, caution out.
Oh, wow, this is going to change everything.
Oh, it's a big one off of turn 4. Travis Beckner's involved.
Looks like the 67 of Cameron Hearn might be involved as well.
Oh, no. Tough break for a lot of these guys just outside the top 10. See Cameron Hearn there. Both of these guys, all these guys on your screen right now actually are lap cars at this point. It looked like the incident might have happened up ahead, I believe. But we'll see. Yeah, right here. It looked like it was with the 28 and the 97. Charles Kaneda down low, the 97, and then the top, of course, the 28 of Travis Beckner here. Trying to find exactly what happened here to bring out the caution. And it looks like
Right here.
right there, yeah, Kaneda just got into him.
Right into the back of the 28, and nowhere to go for these guys. Forrest Smith, Eli Green. Then you see the other lap cars are working their way around it.
Damn, that's a tough one.
It's only going to make things more and more intense for the guys up front.
Be like 5 to go. It's going to be a shootout at Bristol to finish this thing. I think the word full send is being sent over the radio to the Scioli's team.
I don't know. Nobody came down and pitted. Am I right there? I mean, we had all these lead lap cars for the most part stay out. They got no more tires left with 10 to go.
Yeah, Beckner's in pit lane, but I believe that's for damage, as well as Eli Green.
It's going to be the first time tonight also that we're going to see a restart not on fresh tires. We've had, coincidentally, 3 caution flags to this point, and all 3 of the restarts, everybody was just off a pit road on fresh tires. Tonight, or I should say for this restart, a little bit different. These guys have been out here for about 25 laps already on these sets of tires, and restart might be a little bit trickier.
Mr. Smith down low, stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, either something's wrong on that 84, or they're asking him to give the position back, as in he might have passed the pace car and passed the field when he wasn't supposed to there. It looks like he's going to let everybody go and then get rolling, so that's exactly the case there. They're making him give that lap back. Oh, man. Well, it's going to be less than 10 to go. Hunter, your comment all night is that it's been the same front row every start, every restart, and nothing has changed.
Nope, it has not. No matter what, you cannot separate Ryan Hartz and James Skyerly from the front row. We're actually going to get
top
back going.
Top 3 are actually the grid top 3. Theron's the
really
only one.
4 even for this last.
But Theron started in 7th, but Elwood actually was in 3rd to start the race. So,
and no changes.
Yeah. And Weishart, the biggest mover, 17 positions from the 22nd position up to 5th.
Pace car is going to pull it back in the pit road once again. Ryan Hartz on the outside, James Skyerly on the inside, and Ryan Hartz leads the field back green here at Bristol.
Oh, Elwood all over the back bumper. James Scioli down low there. As soon as they were crossing the stripe, I think the 7 might have been a little bit slower on that restart than Elwood was hoping for, and it's going to allow the 3 to get away with the lead.
They had to make sure he didn't pass the leader before and get caught for jumping.
Back, they did make contact with the wall.
Looks like it's Davey Hendricks in the 94 working the top around David Weishart. That's for that 5th position. They're still side by side right behind our top 4 drivers.
And James Scarley trying to work the outside along with Alan Elwood. Do anything to get up to this 3 of Ryan Hartz, but it just seems like nothing they try is working.
Danny Ware now down low in the 18. How about Davey Hendricks? He was able to make that pass work on David Weishart. So Davey, he's up to the 5th spot. Now they're side by side for 6. It's the 33 up top and the 18 down low with 5 to go.
Point might seem like a battle for a second because that 3 car is just, it's on rails. You cannot do anything to get around him or get close to him at this point.
Yeah, he's done a really good job firing off there on those older tires and making that car stick. He's got the gap on James Scioli. Scioli's starting to build a little bit of a gap on Elwood, who's got to hold off his teammate back there in the 4th spot. That's Shane Theron. Right now, the Elwood Designs Esports car is 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but out front, it's all Ryan Hartz in the number 3.
2 laps to go now for the number 3 of Ryan Hartz. He's led every single lap, looking to complete the trifecta of winning the pole, winning the race, and leading all the laps.
Got to make it to the white. That's the most important thing, and he does so. White flag is out here, presented by One to Go Studios.
Or you could catch him, but you could not pass him. The 3 of Ryan Hartz, he won there on the dirt Tuesday night. He's going to come off turn 4 and win on the concrete version. Ryan Hartz wins here at Bristol.
What a performance there from Ryan Hartz, leading this thing from the drop of the green to the end. 0 mistakes made, led every dang lap, like you said there, Hunter. That was an impressive performance.
And by the way, I called it in the pre-race that he was my pick to win. He wasn't listed on the option there for the pole. 9 drivers, and not one of them was Ryan Hartz. He was listed in the field. So, got a little little spin in there on pit road, but nonetheless, never doubt Ryan Hartz, especially on the short tracks. He won at Dover last year, won here Tuesday night in the Bristol Dirt Series for the trucks, and he won here on the concrete version for the Lodgebox Series.
And he is burning it down in that number 3. What a performance. I don't know how many times to say it, man. No mistakes tonight. Getting to do his donuts, and we're going to get a chance to talk to him in just a moment here. But, Hunter, how about that race, man? Only, 3 yellows tonight in 195 laps at Bristol? Look at that. 4 cautions for only 20 laps.
For 20 laps. Oh, that's pretty dope right there. Ryan Hartz is Ryan Hartz leading the most laps. That's also pretty dope. But Alan Elwood, showing that he had a fast car, 15.227 was the fastest lap there. He provides our race recap from Elwood Designs, and we'll chat with our race winner here in just a moment.
Doing that Polish victory lap. Of course, Hunter, it wouldn't be a Bristol race without some arguing and some fights going on down there on pit road. It's the 2 that we suspected. It's Andrew Santo down there and Cameron Hearn. A lot of drivers not happy with that number 6 right now, so they're essentially going in on one another. But we're going to pull up Ryan Hartz on his victory lap here, and I'll let you catch up with him there, Hunter.
Yep, Ryan, this is Hunter, Harold, and Jake in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Wait, what the... I don't think we've seen anyone lead the most laps. Well, not the most laps. Lead every lap, win the pole, and win the race all in the same night. But we saw you do it. And by the way, I wanted to say I said in the pre-race, never count out Ryan Hartz, and tonight proved just why.
I appreciate you picking me there. Yeah, that was overall an amazing performance by me. I really have to stop underestimating myself because I really thought I wasn't going to be the best car tonight. I know I'm not typically the best when it comes to Bristol, especially the dirt, and I won there on Tuesday in the truck. So, yeah, tonight was just overall a great night. I can't thank everybody at JBR enough, and I was probably the cleanest race I've ever ran at Bristol, and obviously it paid off for me, and I saved my stuff good enough where apparently I can lead every lap and go on to win.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably a perfect race, really. I mean, not a single mistake was made. The wheel was just steady all night long, and nobody could get around you. I got to ask, Ryan, you're so good at a track that we are going to in a few weeks called Dover, and now tonight you proved how good you are at a track named Bristol. What is it about these concrete high-banked short tracks that just really plays into your style?
I wish I could tell you. Dover, I just really, really love that track in general. That's probably my favorite track on the sim. And that goes all the way back to like the NASCAR the game days. I was always super comfortable at Dover. So, Bristol is always fun too. I don't really typically win here a lot, but that's 2 for 3 so far on the week. So, yeah, just concrete suits my style, I guess.
Well, also, Hunter, I'm going to jump in with another question here for Hearts, and I'll hand it back to you. But tonight, Ryan, your first start of the season in this Lodgebox series, you get the win. If you finish this thing out, you're eligible for the playoffs. But technically, you can't miss another race from this point forward. Are you going to try to go for that championship, or is tonight a one and done?
I wouldn't call it a one and done, but I'm probably going to sit out for most of the races. I think I've said this to you guys before. I'm not really typically a big fan of these Xfinity cars. But I would love to make some more one-offs if possible. I got to look at the schedule. But yeah, I don't really have any plans to run for the championship in this.
That's in the words of Kyle Busch, driving the COT first time ever and winning. I can't stand these things; they suck. Sort of what it sounds like, but nonetheless, you dominated, did absolutely everything perfect. Are there any shots you'd like to give out before you go?
Yeah, like I said, thanks to JBR Racing for letting me run this Xfinity race. I made my decision just a few minutes before the race even started, and I was really, really gonna say no. But luckily, I loaded up the sim and I got on this race, and it turned out really well. So, thanks to Jacob and everybody at JBR Racing for letting me run this. Thanks to everybody who raced clean tonight. Like I said, that was probably the cleanest race I've ever ran at Bristol. Especially thanks to James. He raced me really, really clean throughout the whole race. He was a little bit better than me on the long run, I would say, but he didn't put the bumper to me or anything tonight. So also shout out to Jacob for this paint scheme. I got it in victory lane for you.
There we go. Right on time, right? Last minute, but hey, still put in victory lane. Congrats on the W here tonight, Mr. Ryan Hartz, and we'll see you back here on Monday night for the Elite Entertainment Cup Series.
Thanks, guys.
I was Ryan Hertz, and like Jake said, you can catch him Monday night as we will be going to Auto Club. Now we got second place finisher James Skyerly up here. James, this is Hunter, Harold, and Jake in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you guys.
All right. Well, we saw Cameron Hearn be second fiddle a lot this year, and it seemed like you had to be second fiddle tonight to Ryan Hartz. I mean, we saw that you had a fast enough car to get up to him, but whether it was the bottom or the top, you just couldn't find your way around the three. Nonetheless, still a solid night, finishing second. Take us through what that was like.
Yeah, I think I really just lost the race in qualifying, to be honest. Those 9 thousandths of a second just put me in second place, and then Ryan got to run his line the whole race, and I had to try and find a way around him. And I don't know if it's the nighttime or how much grip the track had or what, but it was just super hard to make a pass. You couldn't pass on the bottom, even though that was the preferred line, so you had to try and get to somebody's outside, and that was almost impossible trying to follow them in and get to their outside. So I think I just kind of lost it in qualifying. Had some good speed though. Glad to run up front again. Sucks to finish second. I seem to be pretty good at doing that though, so hopefully we can get ourselves a win soon.
I was going to say, we saw the speeds in qualifying, and we saw the lap time that Ryan Hartz put down after he beat Cameron Hearn's time. It's like, no one's going to touch that time, and we had a handful of drivers that nearly dethroned him. So, yeah, it might have come down to qualifying, but nonetheless, it still showed that you had a fast number 7. I don't know if Jake had anything else to add. It seemed like he did.
No, I'm here. Yeah. So, James, you mentioned how many second place finishes. It feels like it's coming for this number 17. But, hey, it's a solid run altogether. We go to Auto Club next week in these Xfinity cars. Is that track something that you're thinking plays to your styles? Are you really looking forward to the mile and a half? We know you won last season at Kansas, but what can we expect for you next week at Auto Club?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Auto Club, a track it seems pretty easy to pass. You can run a lot of different lanes, run the top, run the bottom. So I'm excited to go there. Haven't really done a ton of races there, but I think I'll be just fine once I go there. So definitely looking forward to that.
Well, nonetheless, second does suck, but it is a good night points-wise for the number 7 team. Any shouts you'd like to give out before you go?
Yeah, thanks to you guys in the booth for everything you do week in and week out. I really appreciate it. And the whole area league, appreciate you guys putting us on and letting us do this every week. And then big thanks to Bell Weishart Esports. Scored some good points for them tonight. And a big shout out to Rick's Hot Sauce for being on the car.
Hey, well, we'll let you go and have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
That was James Scioli, second. Now we'll bring up, Jake's already done it for me. Alan Elwood, third place finisher. Alan, Hunter, Harold, and Jake in the booth. Got a copy?
Got you guys.
Man, it seemed like nothing was going to stop that 3 from winning, but you and James Scioli, you had a good battle. Seemed like you had your run at second, he had his run at second, but at the very end just seemed like came down to the last restart, and the 7 just got a better jump. But nonetheless, still a good night for that number 49 car.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. You can't ever complain about a top 5, let alone top 3. Not quite the top step of the podium as I'd like to be. I wish I'd already locked myself in by now, but there's plenty of races to try to get that done. And tonight was just a byproduct of the race itself. I think if whoever was leading, whether it was the 3, the 7, myself, Shane, could have been Cameron, Colin, anybody. If you're in the lead, you're not going to get passed. There was just no way to pass tonight. if you're in the lead because you don't have that dirty air following behind somebody, so you don't get tight or whatever. So kudos to the 3. He didn't make a mistake on pit road to cost himself that spot, or on track for that matter. So it is up to us drivers to try to get around him, and he just took advantage of what's there for him. So not really much you can do about that. So all in all, though, yeah, good night. Clean race for the most part. Everybody up front raced clean. We gave each other a hard time because that's what you got to do here at Bristol. You just got to, pinch people off and try to make sure they don't get a run on you. But yeah, I'll take it and looking forward to Auto Club.
Well, we got the tempers of short track tempers, I guess, going off in Discord. A lot of drivers not happy with the lap traffic, which honestly seems like it's kind of been a theme this season. But Alan, you mentioned we head to Auto Club next week in these things. First off, on the lap traffic, do you expect anything to change there at a bigger track like Auto Club? And then second off, what do you think that 49 car can do there?
Lap traffic, I think will maybe not play as much of a factor. We have been to a super speedway and 2 short tracks, which those are going to lead to big problems, especially Daytona's, tight quarters. Phoenix and Bristol are they're a byproduct of short tracks. So, it's on both drivers. Lap traffic's got to be smart about where they put themselves, and the same goes for the guys racing around them. You just hope that one of them doesn't bounce off the wall into you or something like that. But, I think that'll, Auto Club, it'll hopefully get better. But as far as my race goes, I think we'll be good. I have good speed at Auto Club, so I'm looking forward to it and trying to move around to different lanes. I think that'll be a really good race with these Xfinity cars, whether you're top, bottom, middle. I think there'll be some lines to maneuver around and try to get a run on somebody. So I think it'll be a much better race.
Yep, well, you said it. We're going to Auto Club next week, so that'll be a change of pace somewhat. Any shout-outs you'd like to give out before you go?
Yeah, just real quick, give a shout-out to the sponsors here at Area, Elite Entertainment, Lodgebox, CNC Logging. Appreciate all those guys for their support this season, getting us on track. Everybody on our team, Elwood Designs Esports, High Banks Podcast, Rhino USA. Go to rhinousainc.com. Use code Elwood, save 10%. Go get yourself some toe straps, tie straps, whatever. They got awesome products over there. Reaper Speed Labs, performance powder coating on my car tonight. And then everybody on the team, I think we had a pretty solid night team points wise. Me and Shane, 3 and 4, so that'll be great. And everybody else, we kind of had an up and down night through the roster, but overall, I think it was a good night for the entire team, and looking forward to getting on to Auto Club.
Like 50 Cent once said, go get the strap. It doesn't matter where it is, just get it.
I have to use that on the tagline on the back of the cars now.
All right, well, congrats on the 3rd place finish. Have a good night.
Yeah, appreciate you guys up here in the booth and the admin and everybody. Take care, guys.
Right, that was 3rd place finisher Alan Elwood, and we'll get your race results here for the rest of the field. That seems to be going at it down on the pit lane. Boy, we might need some police escort here to get some of these guys out. It is getting ugly down here. Ryan Hart's leading basically every single lap. Not basically, he did lead every single lap. What am I saying?
Literally did.
He literally led every single lap, getting the win. James Scarley, 2nd fiddle tonight. Alan Elwood 3rd. Shane Therian 4th. Top 5 for Davey Hendricks. Was close between he and David Weinsart, but at the very end, turned out to be the number 94 over the 33, who will come home 6th. 7th is AJ Roderick with Danny Ware, Ed Robertson, and Bryce Senesac, rounding out the top 10.
Nice to see Bryce sneak up there in that 10th spot and take home a top 10. Charles Canita, how about that? He rebounds for an 11th place run here tonight. Richard Thomas in 12th. Kyle Knapp finishes 13th with Rick Christensen in 14th. Ricky Harden, he's going to come home 15th tonight. And Travis Beckner, disappointing incident there at the end. He's going to finish 16th on the night, but he had a lot more pace than that. Eli Green, he's going to finish 1 lap down in 17th. Joe Hazard is going to come home 18th. Andrew Santo, he brings it home in 19th. And Forrest Smith rounds out our top 20.
To the field here, Cameron Hearn, 21st, Adam Capps, 22nd, Colin Fambro, 23rd, Carter Coop, 24th, Jacob Hudson, 25th, Ed Moore Sr., 26th, Garrett Grant, 27th, Mason Kane, 28th, and 29th is Jordan Martin. Well, guys, any final thoughts before we wrap it up? It seems like Discord has been popping off since the checkered flag flew.
Well, I think just the lap traffic, I think Alan pretty much said it perfectly there, right? We started with Daytona, and if you don't have the draft there, the lap traffic gets sketchy in a hurry. And then 2 short tracks of Bristol and then Phoenix last week. So a lot of issues with the lap traffic seems to have been the story of the season so far. I expect that to change next week at Auto Club, and I'm looking forward to being back up in the booth with you guys.
Let's say Auto Club should be a fun one for you Monday night. You finished third in a thrilling photo finish last season, really. Harold, any final thoughts here from Bristol?
Ready to move away from Tennessee. Let's get on to something else.
We're going to get on the Auto Club next week for all 3 series, starting with the Elite Entertainment Cup Series Monday night, and then the CNC Logging Truck Series on Tuesday night. And a week from tonight will be the Lodgebox Series going at it at Auto Club. From everyone up here, well, Jacob Ellis just left. He's trying to break up the scuffle here. A lot of chaos here on the pit lane here at Bristol. Harold Darner, executive producer. I'm Hunter Slevy saying so long, and we'll see you from the West Coast.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.